We were off by 0.8%. I'm going to talk about that in 1 second here. We might see 4.5%, Chris. All right. We're live over there. I'm going to wait a moment on the TikTok. Just got to remember that in about 5 minutes. By the way, over there on Xela, did I alert it yesterday? Because this is a damn fine reclaim on Xela yesterday. Should have entered at 4.9 cents yesterday. And it's now at 6.7 cents. That would have been uh, 37%, just waking up in the morning to 37% gains. Is a very obvious reclaim entry overnight. You know, anyone's curious, like, what do you mean? You're not sure? You have this huge move down, which broke below 1, 2 prior lows, and then reclaimed above and closed above both of those lows. That's it. It's a simple concept, and it doesn't work all the time, but it does work. It does provide a high risk reward. It can be 3 or 4 to 1. And as you can see, boom, there you go. So your stop would have been at 4, the low. Your entry would have been at 4.7 cents. So 0.7 of a cent would have been your risk. And then here we are hitting almost 7 cents this morning, which is up we're basically up 2 cents. And so out of 0.7, that's already 2.85 on the reward side, 2.85. So it's already 3 to 1. And so I don't know how we missed that, and I wonder if I alerted it, but there you go. I mean, I can't, the list by the end of the day of stocks that have done that is in the 50s to 100s. And I got to comb through all those with an hour to close on the closing bell, do alerts, blah, blah, blah. Can't catch them all. Wish we did. Yeah, I know. I think we did watch it. It pisses me off. And the reason why I'm showing you guys what it is because I would like you to notice it and just say, hey, I think we've got that reclaim pattern on the daily on such and such, so I don't miss it. So we all don't miss it. So we don't miss opportunities. All right, but let's take a look at the market. All right, this big red line here, this red moving average is the 200 moving average. We've been bouncing off of it, which, I expected that we might dip under it. But it is worrisome when it gets under it because you don't know if it's going to then stay under it, bounce off the other side, and go even lower, which is fine. It could head and shoulder under it, and it would still be a bottom reversal. So, we have a month or 2 months to continue to let it flesh out. But, this morning we had some numbers, some job numbers come in, and I believe they were weak. But additionally, it turns out that the productivity numbers that we had at 2.5%, I believe they were. Might have been. Does anybody know the exact number? I believe it was 2.7%. Turned out to be actually on revision. That was an early estimate. On revision, at 1.5%. So they were off by 50%. They were off by 1 whole percentage point on human productivity. On U.S. productivity, we were off by 1%, and productivity subtracts from inflation. So if inflation is 6%, and productivity is 2%, then we're able to eat away 2% of the 6% inflation of that year, right? So that puts us, at what X trajectory based on 6% minus 2.7%, right? So that we're thinking, okay, we should be able to, get this thing down to, roughly 4% or whatever. Okay. But we were off by about 1%. So that's going to send inflation. I mean, basically inflation is worse than we expected based on those numbers, because we're not countering the debt that we went into by creating wealth, by being productive, and subtracting from the debt the inflation that we're creating, and countering that. And so it looks like we have screwed ourselves a little bit more than we thought. And so that's why the market this morning had a negative reaction to those numbers and is down. And we're going to be opening under yesterday's low across all markets. Maybe the Dow is holding up. A lot of inflation type of industries in the Dow, it being industrials and affected by inflation in some positive ways. But the growth markets and even some of the value markets getting crushed by this data this morning. So it's down, and we'll see how much the market corrects based off of it. And Treasury bonds are up a little bit because of the same thing. But I think, regardless if we go up today from here, from this lower point, or lower, or just a flat bleed out, and then tomorrow the other way with some consolidation and retrace and retesting, testing the limits of either side of this, possibility, and we do that for several days, and it turns into weeks. Regardless, the big macro force out there is that we were off by 1%, and it's 1% worse than we thought. So if, you were thinking, geez, inflation 6%. Now it's like a 7%. So it's worse, and it also causes some alarm bells probably for the Fed. So we may be seeing the Fed, with some more aggressive talk. I don't know if they're going to bump to a 0.5. They may bump to a 50 basis points on the next raise instead of a 25. But it could be just a 25 plus more aggressive rhetoric. So the outlook on the markets is more pressure, more bearish pressure. And that came clear with the numbers today. I think it's actually a bigger deal than the markets are reacting. The markets are not totally going crazy over it, like bearishly dropping. But hey, the markets are the markets, and the markets speak. But perhaps when the market opens and the bigger the weight of the full market ends, perhaps we'll see some sell-off. However, I think that the best, what I see here is that we'll probably go up to, let's see where it is, to just about yesterday's low. So we're going to actually, it's probably the most likely outcome is during the first 30 minutes to hour to 2 to 3 hours, the first half of the market today, we will probably fill the gap. We will fill this gap that just happened, grab some of this liquidity from the Asian session and the European session, fill that, soak that in for a little while, but perhaps even close there once soaked in. So it could be an all-day grind up or back and forth chop ending there. But eventually, and it could be today, or it could be tomorrow, we will then make lower lows. So we're likely to go up for a while, grinding, chopping, trapping, and grabbing a massive amount of liquidity after we fill the gap, and then move lower, even lower. And those lows, the next stop is 281 on the Qs. 281 for anybody who watches the Qs. That would be the next stop to the downside if we're going to go test some boundaries. All right, we got 3 minutes until the market opens. But that was some very interesting numbers that came through, and apparently Chris is reporting that 30-year rates are already at 4.05%, which is a decent clip jump, and probably could hit 4.2% by the end of the day. Are you thinking what I'm thinking, Chris? One second, guys. No, it's even more than that, Chris. It's that we should sell what we have in the morning here. And then, well, fuck, I don't want to give up any of those coupon payments. And then buy it back later. But I think that's factored in. I have to learn even more about bonds. But it could be that, every 6 months you're getting this ramp down, like, if you understand, like the value of the bond is the value of the upcoming coupon minus how many days until that coupon payment, right? So the face value likely is already pricing in that the coupon is coming up, right? So if that's the case, and I'm sure it is, but because why wouldn't it be? And if that's the case, then we could sell our bonds and even reposition for the latter. Carl knows. Carl says yes. All right, we're about to open. We're mostly watching Xela. All right, here we go. Xela, Xela, opening at 6.7 cents. Can it do something? Anything? I got to take a look at the rate really quick. Okay. ONCS. In some potential momentum. Xela is not a trigger yet. If you're already in it, be watching out for a break of 6.4. That would be a stop. ONCS got some bit of a fight going on, some volume. Yeah, me too. 0.0475 exactly yesterday at the close. We were talking about that before I went live on TikTok here. Okay, Xela starting to come up a little bit. Bouncing off that 0.64 stop area. Where is my mouse? There it is. All right, I got to check on SQZ. Scusi. Nothing really going on there. Now, the market itself is, yeah, it's going green. So interesting how that works. Don't be fooled by that. And plus, it could get really choppy and choppy. It's likely to be a small day, a tender day. INZY, INZY is popping. It might even be halting, and I have a decent position on that. Up 7%, so that wouldn't be halting yet. Let's put that somewhere. INZY. Let's put that here. Yeah, not a lot of volume, but it just went from 3 to 322. That's almost 7% in one pop. Macy's with the day one breakout ER, guys. In about 2 minutes, you can know whether or not you should be getting in on a 5-minute opening range break. That's M, ticker M. Xela looking like it wants to fail out. We shall see, but it's kind of failing. Failed 687. Like it's going to break 6.4. Chris says, watch for the CRM reversal. You're talking about which way, Chris? A little bit more, and I'll let people know. Up, meaning watch for it to reverse from the bottom, or watch for it going up to reverse and go down. Is this a long or a short that we're looking for? Watch for a short CRM reversal or a long CRM reversal. Probably better just to talk long or short. Okay, long off 190. Perfect. Everybody got it? CRM, long off 190. Okay, a little reclaimage going on Xela. Don't know if it'll be enough. Looks like this trade is just that. It was a flip to the open. I'm going to check on this one of mine, ASST. Yeah, that one's interesting. All right. Yosh. Not too promising. A further down tick, and I'll probably get rid of it. I'd like to see it quickly get over the close of the open of 2 days ago. Yep, Xela's fighting. ONCS fading out. So far, we really don't have any long momentum going on, really, in the market on small caps. Is there a upcoming TikTok ban? Somebody was saying something about that on Stock Twitch just now. All right, let's take a look at the. Oh, all right, ONCS with a strong reclaim action. Still, it's just that's been how it's been playing out. It has not been putting in a higher high though. It's definitely tough to be in, tough to stay in, easily shaken out, but and lacking direction. It's very hard to know whether it's trying to shake out longs or shake out shorts. It seems to be almost on both sides. It could be just like a market maker manipulation on the boundaries there from 257 to 2 to 3. So like the 50-cent range from 250 to 3 might be ping-ponging on ONCS and the total manipulation. I hate to use that word manipulation, but sometimes there is. Okay. I am on Stock Twits, yeah. What is my profile name or whatever? Evan Evans, EVAN EVANS. StockTwits.com. Well, everything's fading. So this could be a morning um, where nothing skyrockets. I doubt that. Something will. um, so, we got to keep watching and seeing if any of this stuff turns around. A lot of it is failing out, like DM's failing out. Xela, it hasn't there yet, but man, is it really testing the limits? It is fail, not it is like almost to failing. It's fay. And everything else we were watching kind of meh. And Chris, how are any of your ER plays moving around? I got to take a look at Lily, LLY. Right? Oh, I have like a little accidental remainder position on Xela. I'm just going to flatten it right there to de-risk, and I'll reassess later. AI is reporting after the closing bell today, and uh, the expectation is, that they're going to lose XYZ amount of money. The only difference is whether or not they're losing more or less than XYZ amount of money. But it looks to me it could go either way, but it's not great. And analyst estimates put the price of AI at $16. A little overpriced recently, but it was at $11. And then flew to $31, as many of you are. Yeah, I'm going to check in on SLQT, another one of my holdings. All over the place. Okay, let's go back to our hit list here. ONCS is at the top end of a pivot, an inner pivot right now, which could set it up for a momentum breakout. And Xela has surpassed the inner pivot from the open and now has some possibility of breaking the pre-market high of 7.09 cents. Right now it's at 6.84 cents. Why do I think Tesla went down after Investor Day? I think there was just no sparkle. There was just nothing great going on. No great announcements from Tesla. I think he said they have no shortage of demand. that it's the price that's the problem. That's hilarious. I mean, you could say that about Lambos. You know, it was just kind of a dumb comment. I think it was a dumb night, and it did not really sway any minds. ONCS is trying. Yeah, let's take another look. Xela and ONCS. There we go. ONCS. Looking good. Just broke over a 1 minute green over red on the 1 minute. If we can close out that minute. Green. No, we can't. It is dumping. No bueno on ONCS. And Xela, what are you doing? It hasn't even moved. The momentum's just not there. It appears the momentum market is dying. See what's going on with HPX. Oh, nothing good there. SUP just came up on the penny pops. No, not enough volume. We have CDIO up. Yeah, that popped and then pulled back. That's why you got to have your ladder set up and all your partial exits all lined up. Yeah, no good on ONCS, but Xela is perking up now. Xela just came up and over market highs on its way to potentially blasting pre-market highs. The big play on that was getting in yesterday. Did I alert Turka? TRKA? No, I maybe the other day. Let me see. Turka, yes. I said higher risk, but it seems to have some support at 36 cents. It may be close to putting in a crazy day. Expect to lose. Stop at 36 cents. TRKA. Why? Where is it today? Let me take a look. 52 cents. Wow. So that was what? Where's my calculator? All right. But where was it at when we were into? I mean, I say 36 cents was the stop. The entry would have been at 39 cents, pretty much 40 cents. So okay. So it's up to 20% or so. 30%. We're up 30% on that play. Excelente. Long live the. Yeah, that was just a flat out, straight out alert. That wasn't a particular pattern. That was an observation for an opportunity on Turka, TRKA. Turka Turka. Where's the daily? Yeah. Man, when did I alert that? Because that's so interesting. That was on the 27th. Wow, right here. So this was alerted on this day at this price. And I said it could go crazy. And this is just the beginning because that doesn't look crazy to me. And the stop was here at 36 cents, which it never hit. And you can continue to raise your stop to the low of the prior day, for example. So today, now that would be way up here at 46 cents. By the end of the day, depends. Depends on me. It could end up a red day and close here. So that would be where your stop is for tomorrow. In any event, taking profits, hopefully. But the craziness that could ensue is, let's take a look, that it could hit. Yeah, this is it. It could get as high. It's likely to get to 58 cents and then encounter some trouble. And if it doesn't, if it just flies right by that, it's likely to end at 65 cents. So write that out. Write that down, Ben, and anybody else in Turka. 65 cents max. Some trouble perhaps at 56 cents. That's what I was talking about when we were trying to get in at 40 cents on Turka. All right, Xela hit 7.17 cents. So it's continuing to go up. All right, we got somebody saying check out hymns. I don't know why. There's no explanation. Get on my Momo list anywhere. I'm not seeing any good patterns on hymns. No. Had ER and now it's fucked. ER was going good, now it's fucked. And that's that. What about it? Octa 5-minute dip buy? You mean kind of like the mega dip buy type pattern? Yeah. Is that ER? Oh, okay. It is, I believe, in ER. Yeah. Keep an eye on that. 5-minute mega dip buy pattern on Octa. That's typically a options trade. Very rare Evans option trade, but you can do it with shares. CDIO have more upside? Not sure. Looks like it rejected. Take a look at the daily. Yeah, it could be. Could get all the way back to 10. I think I projected this one's going to go to 7. And that's exactly where we are. But it already surpassed that. It hit 850. And maybe more in pre-market. I don't know. I have to double check. But yeah. I mean, this is an area of a knot right here. There's a knot at 830. From 780, 875. 780 to 875. You could be looking at days of what's the word? It's not resistance. I'm trying to think of days of trouble, complexity. Okay, Randy. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Let me know. Send me some private messages. Can you take some screenshots and send them in the private messages? Because I'm trying to decide whether or not to do a deal with them. Of that. Thanks. Test that shit out. ABML for long term. Okay, let me see. Long term. All right. I need to pull up my other system here. ABML long term. The answer to that is the following. I'll tell you in 1 second. Okay, here we go. Here's what I think. ABML for long term was the question.
No, God! No, God, please, no! No!
All right. Yeah. No, it's awful. It's awful. It looks terrible. It's awful. Good luck if you're really gonna, stick to that. But no. It's a battery company. It looks like you might be getting sucked in on the lithium plays and sucked in by what people say. I'll tell you what. I feel like I got to pull up. Hold on, I got another one. Okay, we got another one coming. There we. Okay, yeah. This is what I got to say about listening to news and hype and what people say versus just reading the charts and looking at the data. What happened?
I head up a full.
Okay, here it is.
Of course, I could get a hell of a good look at a T-bone steak by sticking my head up a fool's ass, but I'd rather take the butcher's word for
it. There you go. That's what I think about what happens when you listen to news. Anything else?
Alert.
Oh, and CDIO has turned red on the day. Trade with your eyes, not with your ears, people. Trade with your eyes, not with your ears. Usually what people say is self-beneficial. What you can observe is actually happening. In other words, what people say is typically self-serving. It's like, I don't know, maybe you're a fisherman. There's a bunch of fishing boats, right? And the fishing boat beside you says, "Oh, you should get out of here. There's sharks everywhere. There's no fish. No fish, sharks everywhere." So you fire up the motor and you get the fuck out of there. Who's the idiot? This is a market. You guys are competing. When you have people competing, what people say is the anti-information. Okay? Because it's a market. It's not the news. You understand? You can put your money into it. It's different. All right. Well, I'm not really seeing much action going on. So I hope you had a good time with the market open. By the way, the market has gone up and started to fill that gap we were talking about. Let's take a look at that gap. You're welcome, Mike. This is what I was saying, is that we'll probably fill this gap today. And we are literally, we literally almost there. We might still do it. Like I said, it could be a slow grind up, but look at that. We're about 80 to 90% on its way to grabbing that liquidity. Hopefully you guys paid attention to that in the pre-market forecast for today, because once it gets up there, there's lots of resistance, lots of liquidity, and we could reverse or just soak up in that range all day, and then tomorrow turn red, and then next week could be just all red. It's going to be interesting. It's going to be interesting. All right, everybody. Thanks a bunch, and I'll catch you all later. Let's jump into the group and keep on trading on. Very welcome, guys. Thank you. Thank you. It's that intricate. Can you explain a warrant? Yeah, I definitely looked that one up, but it's sort of like options, and it's even complicated from there.